All right, you know how much our channel loves Americana, and it is road trip day.
Yes, we are at a cemetery in South Berlin, Massachusetts, and we are here to visit the grave of someone who's important not only to the Airstream community, but is an inventor of a big-time piece of Americana.
We're here at the grave of Donald Featherstone, who invented the plastic pink flamingo. Okay, welcome to this week's episode of Luv Subbin, and we are in
Leominster,
yes,
Massachusetts.
Yeah, we're right outside of Leominster. It's not Leominster or whatever. Cindy's been actually practicing in the car for quite some time so that she wouldn't say it incorrectly, but it is Leominster.
Leominster.
And we're here because of the pink flamingo that you saw earlier. But like anything else, we're learning all kinds of stuff about this area.
And this was also the birthplace of Johnny Appleseed.
And we have the New England's largest apple structure behind us.
Yes.
At 10 feet tall.
At 10 feet tall, to sort of represent the whole apple culture here.
So, and we're going to figure out what Johnny Appleseed kind of did a little bit more.
And we got our guide from the Visitor Center, and we're going to start exploring all things flamingo in Leominster.
All right. Hey, you said it right. All right, let's hit this episode.
So we're outside the Visitor Center, and it's always good to look up because I noticed that.
It's a pink flamingo weather vane.
On the Visitor Center.
They're really embracing what is truly the unofficial mascot of the Airstreamer.
Correct. So this was a little bit of unexpected Americana that we tracked down. This is the birthplace, or near here, of Johnny Appleseed.
Yes, and apparently he went around throughout the country planting apple seeds, of course, which is what the legend is. But in order for a landowner to claim his land, he had to plant 50 trees. And so Johnny Appleseed provided these seeds. They were able to plant their apples. And back in Revolutionary time, apples were a huge
staple.
You could make cider out of it, you could bake pies, you could preserve them, you could make cider vinegar, all kinds of things from apples that helped. Yeah, the cider vinegar was used to preserve other vegetables. So,
and it was also provided drinking cider as
you could ferment it, and so it was just an incredibly important part. And apparently he was an astute businessman as well, planting his orchards, and died in Fort Wayne, Indiana in 1845.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and play my game of Instagram.
Yep.
This is the Instagram shot with us in the Massachusetts countryside at Johnny Appleseed's home.
Yep.
And we're actually in a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just right across the street from
this is like a suburban neighborhood. Yeah. So I feel like we had to just park in the middle of the road there. So that's Instagram. Reality.
Real shot.
So our current pink flamingo, one of them has broken, the legs is broken, and they're not the official Featherstone one. So we think it's time to replace our pink flamingo. We're gonna go ahead and get one made in the USA. Right down the street, we're going to go check out the factory, and we're going to get an official Featherstone purchased in Leominster.
Awesome.
So this is Central Flags and Gifts on Main Street, and this is where we bought our pink flamingo.
Yep. And look how nice they were. They gave us this because we were investigating the flamingo.
They were so psyched that we're replacing our old broken Chinese flamingos with ones made in Leominster.
Yep.
They're still made here, so
we have this nice little glittery thing, and they had a couple little flamingo things in there. It was kind of fun.
Yep.
And it was a very nice coffee shop and bakery.
Yeah, it smells wonderful in there. We're going to be going somewhere else for lunch, but yeah. Central Flag here on Main Street in Leominster.
Yep.
All right, we are at 511 Lancaster Street.
And as nearest way we can figure, this is where the Union Products Incorporated used to be before it closed back in 2006.
Yeah, we don't know if they're still there, if this is where they're still made. It does say some kitchen supply.
Right.
But this is the internet, so we're not going to allow facts to stand in the way of our perceived reality.
Absolutely.
This is where they're made.
We're going to take some pictures side by side, and maybe you can be the judge.
Yep. All right. That's what we're going with. Okay, so really, what is it about flamingos and Airstreams?
Flamingos and Airstreams, I think, came together because the plastic pink flamingo garden ornaments represented a sense of adventure and travel.
Yeah, the interstate highway system was just coming into place. People were traveling with their cars And a lot of folks from New England and the Midwest were hitting places like Florida, right?
Right, and I had flamingos down there at the time, and that was considered pretty exotic.
Yeah, and it was a sign of kind of like adventure, travel, and a little bit of affluence if you could display a flamingo in your yard when you returned.
Correct. So Don Featherstone started the pink flamingo garden ornaments back in 1957, and and he also displayed 57 pink flamingos on his lawn.
Yep, and flamingos by nature are very social animals. They like gathering. You can see from this picture here, I think I've got one, of when I traveled to the largest flamingo concentration in the world in Lake Nakuru, Kenya. And from that picture here, I'm dedicating this picture to a fellow engineer, Jimmy Lee, who traveled with me on that trip, showed me the ropes, and passed away too fast, too quick from cancer just last week. So Jimmy Lee, this picture's for you. You were great.
Yep. And so that's why they are sold in pairs, because they are considered very sociable creatures.
Yep. So what's the difference between being flocked and being flamingo?
Okay, so those are two different terms. Flocked is when someone shows up on your lawn and puts 50 flamingos because you're turning 50.
Right, that's being flocked.
It's a ton of flamingos being put out. Being flamingoed is something the Airstream people do, and that's leaving one flamingo at a fellow Airstreamer's door.
Yeah, and I think we've actually copied that from the Jeep folks. Fellow Jeep owners, I think they put ducks, and that you get ducked.
Yes.
And so we're kind of copying that with the flamingo and getting flamingoed.
Yep.
So what else, anything else on the flamingo side of things? So
well,
yeah, it's basically a sign of travel, adventure, and affluence. Yeah. And what could be more symbolic of that than an Airstream, right?
Yeah. And so just a little bit of trivia. In the movie Romeo and Juliet, it's about gnomes, garden gnomes, and it's sort of in a Shakespearean context, and it's an animated movie. There was a character, it was a pink flamingo lawn ornament, and his name was Featherstone, which I thought was funny because it's basically an inside joke.
Yeah, and you had no idea at the time that, you know, you're like, okay, flamingo, Featherstone, yeah, that's probably where they got that from. Little did we know. So there's your trivia thing. Someday, if ever you're in Jeopardy or a trivia show, you'll get that. All right, see, where do we stop for lunch after our pink flamingo experience?
We are at the Wachusett Brewery in Westminster, Massachusetts.
It's right off of Route 2.
Correct. And we are enjoying the beer here, and it does have sort of a slight Airstream vibe theme going on.
I think it's more than a slight Airstream vibe here. As you can see, the service station is an old Airstream. International, with the requisite mass trailer plates.
So what year did you estimate that would be? Probably
this is 70s. 70s. This is a 1970s Airstream.
Yeah. So apparently they have a bunch of Airstreams out back that we can take a look at later.
We're going to check them out.
Yep.
So I ordered the Wally IPA. I don't even like IPAs. I hate them. But when you're at an Airstream restaurant, you've got to get the Wally IPA. Not bad. It's a New England style, like heady topper. Overall, pretty decent. All right, see what you get.
I got the bacon apple sourdough sandwich, and it comes with cheese. I opted without the cheese, and it looks really delicious, very crispy. Looks like there's lots of bacon. Very crispy. It's going to take some time to get to the middle part. I'm still on the edge, but it looks like it's going to be good. So what did you get?
Yeah, I got literally the Airstream burger, which is like this awesome looking burger. Oh, look at all that goodness with bacon and, oh, look at that.
Looks like it might be a little messy.
Yeah, it's going to be messy. I was hoping it'd be flexible aluminum or something like that, but it looks like we're going to have to deal without that. That's a mess, but delicious. Our checklist would have determined that that rear light right there is out versus that one, and the other one's running. That's why you have checklists. www.luvsubbin.com/checklist. Here on this Airstream kind of service station that they've set up, they've cut these windows up here. Comment below as to what you think that'd be cool for Airstream to do as like an option. If you could have like total ultimate vista view windows. Those aren't structural, so you probably could do it if you had the money. So Sin, our trailer's in Jackson Center right now being worked on, right?
Yes, that's correct.
What do you think if I call up our service manager and ask him to put one of these taps
That'd be pretty cool,
on the outside
right?
while it's getting its frame fixed.
That would be really
Be a good
cool.
time to do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. You could sort of attach it to the refrigerator.
Right on the outside?
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for it.
That's value added right
Yeah,
there.
but remember the, was it the Skyliner that we visited?
Sky Lounge.
Sky Lounge that actually had one of those.
Yep, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wally Bottom.
That one is even got out here in the parking lot's got an old Wally Bottom sticker.
I would think there would be some ghost numbers.
You can kind of see maybe a little bit, or
I think they need some chain socks.
these guys definitely need chain socks. Coming soon to a website near you. Yep, no way. This is totally adding too much to your hitch weight.
Oh, well, you know, I'm not sure this is going too far. Plus, consider also that both sides are beer taps. And so if they have the beer barrels in there, that's going to add a little bit to your hitch
I
weight
bet they
as well.
do take. Let's go in the back and see if they got an up-to-date license plate. I bet they do take this places. Okay, yeah, so these trailers do move. It's got an actual 2024 Massachusetts registration on it, and I'm covering it up because, as you know, if you post a picture of a license plate on the internet, your lives will be destroyed, your bank account will be drained, your reputation will be ruined, everything bad will happen to you. That's why people black out license plates on the internet.
Yeah, but yeah, you can wander around this parking lot and record anybody's license plate that you want.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's dumb. This one looks older with the 60s. I think they call these the wedding cake. So this might be late 60s or early 70s. Very cool. All right, well, there you have it. The end of our little Americana road trip. What do you think?
I thought it was a lot of fun. Perhaps we might be back on June 23rd of next year when they have their National Pink Flamingo Day.
Yep, we're at one of the nicest rest stops, I think, in the country. I-91 northbound.
Yep.
At the border of Vermont.
Yeah.
But if you like this video,
Give us a big thumbs up.
and if you think we've earned a subscription, click the subscribe.
Comment below if you have any more Americana maybe that you can share.
We come out with RV and Airstream related videos just like this one every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.